Hello, welcome to another audio blog by Matthew Mackenzie, a carer from the Borough of Lewisham, working for SLAM, which means South London and Maudsley Trust. SLAM provide the widest range of NHS mental health services in the UK. This is an audio blog about ADHD Awareness Week 2013, which usually takes place from the 14th to the 20th of October. Although I have noticed some countries have them up to a month, so perhaps they have them as ADHD Awareness Month. Now before I begin, let me just note that these are my own views and they are not endorsed by South London and Maudsley NHS Trust. Nor am I an expert in ADHD, psychology or psychiatry, so hopefully you can bear with me. But what is ADHD? Now I've got this info from the NHS Choices website, and basically it says here on their site it stands for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, known by the term ADHD, which is a group of behavioral symptoms that include inattentiveness, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. Attention Deficit Disorder, ADD, is a subtype of ADHD. Common symptoms of ADHD include a short attention span, restlessness or constant fidgeting, being easily distracted. Now, ADHD can occur in people of any intellectual ability. However, many people with ADHD also have learning difficulties. They may have also additional problems such as sleep disorders, and symptoms of ADHD tend to be first noticed at an early age and may become more noticeable when a child's circumstances change, such as starting school. Still, what happens on ADHD Awareness Week or month? First of all, awareness is raised on ADHD by events taking place in the UK and perhaps around the world. There is an ADHD Hearts and Mind Conference taking place from the 10th to the 12th of October 2013 over in Liverpool. And also I'm sure there's other events around, and I'll probably come on to those, but for yourself, you can help raise awareness by doing any of the following. Some people hold a webinar or a teleclass or web conferencing, which basically refers to a service that allows conferencing events to be shared with remote locations. You could present at a local community meeting, such as a teacher organization or a club or mental health support group or even a faith-based group about ADHD. Some people print posters, and they can download that from certain sites and put them up through their community or on their windows. Some people contact organizations to get them to recognize or hold ADHD awareness activities, while others go to the local library to display information on ADHD, or perhaps have them printed up in the libraries or pharmacies or at the chemists. Now, I've looked around to find more information on ADHD and what organizations are being very busy to try and support those who are diagnosed with this symptom. And my first port of call is usually the websites, and I mention a few, perhaps one or two, right, from this blog. Now, the first is ADDISS, which is the Attention Deficit Disorder Information and Support Service, and their site address is www.adddiss.co.uk. And a bit more about them. They provide people-friendly information and resources about Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder to anyone who needs assistance, that being parents, sufferers, teachers or health professionals. Now, this website contains just a fraction of information that they have on ADHD. and they also have a bookstore which can be accessed through their site for more information. Another site of interest that I found is called YouCAP, and they can be reached on www.ukadhd.com. And a bit more about them. It says from their site, it says that YouCAP recognizes ADHD as a complex but treatable condition which can have a profound impact on individuals, families, and society at large. Now, they aim to support clinicians and allied professionals to identify and meet the needs of children and young people affected by this disorder. ADHD is now recognized as a condition that may cross the lifespan, and there are multimodal interventions for ADHD that can be delivered at every age. Let's throw in one last site of interest, and I found this one to be quite a very good site. Although it does not only provide information on ADHD, but it also lists events for 2013, plus a few other things as well. And this site is ADDers, and you can reach them at www.adders, which is ADDERS.org. So that's www.adders.org. Now, their objective is to promote awareness to Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder and to provide information and as much free practical help as to the sufferers, but being both adults and children and their families in the UK and around the world via their website. Now, a bit more about them. ADDERS.org was formed in 1998 by founders Simon and Caroline Hensby. Although there has been some ups and downs in the running of the site, Simon Hensby is now running the website once more, and as a tribute to Caroline, who died in 2010. If you want to find out more on ADHD, then this is a very good UK site to start with. They do not provide any services, just information on the symptom. Now, usually, I do not mention why some people might be against this condition. There's been some controversial aspects of ADHD, as there usually is with many other mental health sort of symptoms. But I felt it can be fair to represent other people's views as well. One of the controversial views is that it stated that ADHD has become a controversial topic because some experienced clinicians and specialists believe the condition isn't adequately recognized, and so many children are not being properly diagnosed. They feel there may also be no complete standardized method of assessing for ADHD, and all children have problems with self-control to some extent. Where do you draw the line between normal and difficult behavior? Now, I'm not stating that there is no such thing as ADHD, but it is important to mention that this is a growing field, and issues should be addressed on supporting the view of those supporting the view of the symptom and those who are against the view on ADHD as a symptom. But what is SLAM doing to address the symptom ADHD? You can find a bit more about what they do off their national site, and the address is a bit too long to mention, so it's best to go to Google and type in SLAM ADHD. Now, they provide assessment and treatment for adults with Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, as mentioned as ADHD, and since their inception in the early 1990s, they have developed a specialist service providing diagnostic ADHD assessment and treatment for over 3,000 people. They undertake over 50 assessments each month with a follow-up caseload of between 350 to 400 patients, and this number may have changed because I've just basically taken some information off their site. I'm not sure how often it's updated. Well, anyway, I hope I've raised a bit more awareness and information on ADHD, which is taking place from, I believe, it's the 14th to the 20th. And I hope you enjoyed listening to my audio blog. Feel free to visit any of our social media sites, being Facebook, WordPress or Twitter. Thank you for listening to this blog.